So the bitter drama between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B is heating up once again. After TMZ made a video about Cardi and couldn't keep Nicki's name out of their mouth, the Barbs are coming for Cardi for talking bad about Nicki, while the Cardi gang is attacking Nicki and the internet is in meltdown mode. It's time for y'all to step up, because this is about to turn into a heated, stinking disaster. Every time it seems like the feud between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj is about to cool down, something trivial happens and everything just spirals out of control. Nicki and Cardi have been doing their own thing and going about their daily lives for a few months now. But in the end, TMZ made the decision to generate some drama between them and cause additional commotion, which caused the internet to go into severe meltdown mode. So TMZ decided to do a documentary on Cardi, which they titled No B as Cardi B, where they basically talked about Cardi's life and how she got popular and stuff like that. Now, this is very normal because, well, Cardi is a big artist, and pretty much every big artist gets documentaries done about them at some point in their careers. But because it found a way to include Nicki in it, this particular documentary has caused a lot of controversy and drawn a lot of criticism. Since Nicki and Cardi's dispute spiraled out of control, it's become very typical for people to criticize one of them while dragging the other. For instance, if an article is praising Nicki, it will find a way to include Cardi in it and portray Cardi negatively in order to support Nicki. It also happens when someone is trying to glorify Cardi and then talks badly about Nicki. It's just a very messy cycle, but hey, it keeps a few going between them, and it looks like the Barbs and the party gang like a few too. But anyways, like we said, TMZ made a documentary about Cardi, and they somehow managed to shade and discredit Nicki at the same time.
And before her, like Lil' Kim was the biggest before her, and that's another big gap. And I don't know if it bothers Nicki, but to Cardi's credit, after Cardi's insane runaway success, look at what's happened in the last couple of years. You've got Doja Cat, Sweetie, Megan Thee Stallion, Lotto, Ice Spice. All these female rappers are just running the game right now. And it's almost certainly because of Cardi B.
They kind of made it seem like Nicki somehow prevented female rappers from popping up or getting famous. Well, we all know that Nicki, for the most part, shows love to up-and-coming female rappers. Plus, so many female rappers, including Meg Daw, Stallion, Doja, Cat, Ice Spice, and many more, have publicly revealed how much of an inspiration Nicki Minaj was to them before they even started rapping, and even after they first broke into the industry. No shade to Cardi B or anything like that, because she has also had a crazy amount of influence on pop culture and has done a lot to inspire young female rappers and all that stuff. But the problem is that the documentary made it seem like Nicki has done nothing to inspire younger artists. Which is clearly not the case because, like we said earlier, even the artists themselves named Nicki as an inspiration. And then they somehow started talking about how Cardi has sold more records than Nicki, even though Nicki has been in the game for longer. But again, this just seems to paint Nicki in a bad light, especially with the way they said it. You know, that part about how it would stick in Nicki's crawl just makes it seem like they believe that Nicki is bitter or something like that. But to be honest, that clip kind of gives the impression that some of this documentary will essentially consist of contrasting Nicki with Cardi and emphasizing how Cardi is bigger. However, the issue with this kind of behavior is that it only serves to escalate the conflict between the two ladies. Constant comparisons between them will only serve to heighten the drama, particularly in situations like these where they are not even required. There are so many things about Cardi to boast about without mentioning Nicki because it is simply not required. But another concern that many people have is whether Nicki gave her permission for this documentary, and many people believe that she did not. She and Cardi don't get along, as we all know. Therefore, it is extremely unlikely that Nicki would approve of involving her in this. However, it's unclear whether or not it's against the law for them to discuss Nicki in a documentary without getting her permission. But given that the documentary is not even about Nicki, it is obvious that her supporters are not really interested in it. The Barbs are known for standing up for Nicki no matter what, so this time they did not make a big deal out of it. It's been a hot mess on the internet between the Barbs and the Cardi gang, and honestly, it doesn't seem like it's going to end soon. It's especially best to see if these kinds of messy comparisons keep coming up every 5 business days. But speaking of messy, y'all have to check out the drama in this next messy video.